Good morning, friends. Today we discuss about the geometry of four coordinate complex science. Here in this case, the four coordinate complex science, the example of the four coordinated complex science formed by some transition metals, and these complex science are coordination number of the central metal atoms or the ions is 4. Such complex ions may have either square planar or tetrahedral geometry depending upon the whether the central metal ions or atoms is dsp2 or sp3 hybridized. What type of hybridization, that is whether dsp2 or sp3, the central metal atoms or ions of a four coordinated complex ion undergoes the depends on the number of unpaired or paired electrons present in the complexes. For example, the square planar geometry is DSP2. DSP2, the example of DSP2 is nickel tetracyanonucleate, second oxidation state of the ions. When the tetracyanonucleate is a square planar geometry, nickel 2 plus ions should have the dsp2 hybridization. In the hybridization, due to the energy made available by the approach of four cyanide ions ligands, these ligands is a strong ligands, and due to the energy of made available by the approach of four cyanide ions or ligands and two unpaired electrons, 3d electrons are paired up, thereby making one of the 3d orbital empty. This empty 3d orbital, which is the 3d x square minus y square orbitals, is used in the dsp2 hybridization. This hybridization makes all electrons paired n is equal to 0. Hence this is the diamagnetic complex ions. The electronic configurations of the nickel is, outer electronic configuration is 4s2 3d8. Then in the ground state of the nickelate ions, the 8 electrons are present in the d orbitals and the 2 electrons are unpaired electrons. By addition of the 4 cyanide ions on the central metal nickelate ions, then the pairing of electron takes place in this complex. Then 2 unpaired electrons, after formation of the tetracyanonucleate complex, the pairing takes place. Here in this case, 4 paired orbitals are present and 4 ligands. In the one ligand 2 electrons are present, then the no unpaired electrons is present in this case. That's why these complex ions is a diamagnetic. And why this is dsp2? Because the one of the ligand is present in the d orbital, inner d orbital. That's why this is the dsp2 orbital. One d and one s and 2 p orbitals are present in these hybridizations. That's why the hybridization of this complex is dsp2 complexes, and the geometry of this complex is square planar geometry.